I remember the moment the phone rang. It was the police. And in that single call, everything I had been holding inside, the betrayal, the rage, the careful plotting, crystallized into one sharp truth. Justice had arrived. But to understand why that call mattered, you need to know how I got here. 5 years. 5 years of checks written, balances cleared, interest paid down. I wasn't living in my parents' house, but I was paying their mortgage every month without fail. I told myself it was duty, gratitude. After all, they raised me. But deep down, I also believed loyalty ran both ways. Then came the wedding. My younger sister's wedding. The golden child. The one who could do no wrong. I stood there in the reception hall, glass of champagne sweating in my hand when my father took the microphone. His voice shook with emotion as he handed over the keys to the house. Their house, my payments. A gift, he said, for our daughter and her new husband to start their lives. I remember my sister's squeal, the crowd's applause, the way my mother dabbed her eyes with a tissue, and I remember the silence in my chest because nobody looked at me. Nobody said my name. I had been erased from history. After that, something inside me broke. But I didn't scream. I didn't confront. I smiled, hugged my sister, and congratulated her on the house I had bought for her. Only later, lying awake at night, did the details sink in. The hours I had worked overtime, the vacations I had skipped. The apartment is still rented while my parents lived freely in a home I was paying for. And now it was gone, signed over, deed away to her. Betrayal doesn't always come with knives and blood. Sometimes it's signatures on paper, ink that bleeds through generations. 2 months later, they came to me, my parents. Not with apologies, not with gratitude, with demands. "We're thinking of downsizing," my mother said casually over dinner. "Your vacation house? It's sitting empty most of the year, isn't it?" She said it like it was a favor I could do for them, like I owed them more. I set my fork down, calm, always calm. "No," I said, "you can't move in there." The look on their faces, shock, disbelief, told me everything. They had expected compliance. They had expected the same blind loyalty I'd been giving for years. But something had shifted, and they didn't even notice. That night, I stopped being their child. I became their opponent. I didn't rant. I didn't cut them off. Instead, I studied deeds, titles, mortgages, bank records. I knew where every dollar had gone, every transfer I had made. While they slept peacefully under the roof I had funded, I sharpened my silence into a weapon. Revenge, I learned, isn't fire. It waits. First move, I stopped paying quietly without warning. The house wasn't mine anymore. Why should I carry it? Second, I called in a favor with an attorney, a man who knew how to turn paper into power. He helped me build the case piece by piece for what I was about to do. Third, I cut them off financially. No more help. No more bailouts. Not a single penny slipped through my hands without purpose. And then I waited because desperation always reveals the truth. It didn't take long. 2 missed mortgage payments on my sister's gifted house, and the cracks began to show. She called me crying, "Please, can you help?" Just until we're back on our feet. I told her I couldn't. My tone was gentle, but my refusal was sharp enough to bleed. My parents begged next. They accused me of being selfish, ungrateful, cruel. The irony almost made them laugh. By then, the attorney had filed my claims. The payments I had made weren't gifts. They were loans, documented, traceable, and now legally enforceable. The sheriff's notice came like thunder. My sister's house, their perfect wedding gift, was being repossessed because of me. The night before, they were forced out. I went to see them. My father's face was pale. My mother's eyes red from crying. My sister sat stiff on the couch, her husband silent beside her. I looked around at the house, the furniture, the photographs, the walls I had indirectly paid for. And then I looked at them. "You wanted me invisible," I said softly. "So I became invisible. You thought my silence was weakness. It wasn't. It was strategy. My father opened his mouth to argue, but I held up a hand. No, you don't get to speak. Not tonight. The silence stretched, heavy, crushing, and for the first time I saw it in their eyes, the realization that they had created their own executioner. Which brings me back to the phone, the cops. They told me my parents had tried to break into my vacation house, the one I had refused them. Desperate, they'd tried to take what wasn't theirs again. Only this time, the law was on my side. They were caught, arrested, humiliated, and I didn't lift a finger. People ask me if I regret it, if I wish I had forgiven them, given them one more chance. But regret is for